after Bruce Wayne regained all of his memories as Batman, he immediately started preparing for an inevitable exchange with Mr. Bloom by shaving off his beard and then picking out a new suit from the armory in his Batcave. Meanwhile, Jim Gordon was being wheeled over to a helicopter on a stretcher because when Mr. Bloom forced his roots down into his throat earlier, they ended up puncturing his spleen so badly that he needed urgent medical attention because he was losing massive amounts of blood internally. However, before being fully loaded onto the chopper, him and Alfred's daughter Julia were confronted by 4 members of Bloom's army who immediately knocked Julia unconscious by hitting her with an electricity blast before claiming that they were gonna kill Jim Gordon after siphoning all the power from the building. But moments later, they were stopped in their tracks when Batman came raging onto the scene, smashing one of their heads into the bat signal before jumping into the air while slamming a cluster of smoke bombs onto the ground, which allowed him to navigate through the battlefield mostly undetected while taking them down one by one. After that, Jim started believing that the odds were finally back in their favor, expressing that he felt a whole lot better now that Bruce was by his side, but moments later he realized that he had spoken too soon when Bloom opened up a massive energy pulse regarded as a strange star that was feeding on the energy of people who had taken his seeds, and if they didn't shut it down quick enough, it was gonna destroy the entire city. Now, eventually they concluded that Bloom had to have been hosting some sort of master transmitter seed that was siphoning and drawing power from active seeds around the city and then funneling all that power into a collider that was responsible for opening the strange star. So Jim wanted to find something that could amplify the signal of the energy disruptor that was integrated into his mech suit so they could suppress the strange star, but before he could even get started on that, Batman implied that he could handle this one by himself by handcuffing Jim to the helicopter because unless he received medical attention fast, then it wouldn't be long before he was dead. Meanwhile, Bloom's rampage on the city streets only continued to escalate for the worse because after killing a countless number of innocent civilians, he used his ability to manipulate energy to take control of the batsuits that opposed him before using those batsuits to destroy the city even more by making them blast the surrounding buildings. However, that's when a bus that Batman rigged with a batarang came flying onto the scene, crashing into Bloom with so much momentum that he went toppling onto the ground. And upon trying to regain composure by getting back on his feet, he was pinned by a gang of Batman's rope traps before Batman himself smashed his leg directly into his face. But unfortunately, the tables were turned just moments later when all the mech suits that Bloom took control of previously started closing in on Batman, which allowed Bloom to break free. And even after using explosives to put some of the mech suits out of commission, Bruce realized that this nightmare had only just begun when an absolutely gigantic Joker mech suit confronted him immediately after. But sadly, that's when this issue comes to an end, but if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.